Okay. We are, both Kat and I are from Galactic Co-operative. I'm one of the founding members of Galactic Co-operative, and I must say starting a cooperative in WA has had its difficulties. We are a worker-owned cooperative, so there's lots of different cooperatives. And I suppose a question I was going to ask is, have you heard of, apart from being here today and hearing about cooperatives, have people heard about cooperatives as a business structure? Which is good, it's great. It's really nice to be able to talk to people that have already at least heard of it. Using the cooperative as a business structure that is different from a sole trader, it's different from a company, different from a partnership. So it's run by 5 directors. At the moment we've only got 3. Kat is an employee at the moment and will soon be a member of the cooperative. Galactic Co-operative is our umbrella structure. From that we've got at the moment 2 business streams. One is Galactic Scientific and one is Svelto Bikes. This allows us to be able to have lots of other business streams in the future. We can build on this. Galactic Scientific is mostly about repairing and servicing laboratory scientific equipment, and that's headed up by my partner Andre, who is a physicist and a chemist, and he has a good relationship with a lot of laboratories in Perth. It goes from anywhere from geochem labs through to pathology, through to all the universities, anywhere where there's scientific equipment, where they're helping keep a lot of that equipment in use and not going to landfill. Svelto Bikes is an electric bike that we have designed with a 25-year philosophy behind it, so that again it's not something that's going to be used and then end up in landfill. Kat is the person that heads up our Svelto Bikes, so she builds the bikes. Some of the materials are locally sourced to build those bikes, and some come from overseas. We're working on making it more and more West Australian.
Always working on that.
Okay, that one. So, our decision to become a worker-owned cooperative was about being a vehicle of change. We felt that that was something that we could positively do as a choice in our business structure to make things different. We wanted to democratise our workplace, and we wanted to be part of the solution. So I suppose on that scale that we were seeing earlier makes us a bit more revolutionary than than reformative, but we still have a long way to go. And I would love for everyone here to ask themselves, you know, how can you be game changers? And maybe having a business structure around a worker-owned cooperative is something that will work for you. I will change.
May I?
Yes.
Add to that.
Yes.
When I speak to people who are not exposed to cooperatives as a business structure about being a worker-owned cooperative, they say, well, that sounds great, but what's the difference? I mean, I'm a shareholder. I used to work for the big green shed funds, and I'm still a Bunnings shareholder because I worked there for long enough that I own shares. But I own as many shares of Bunnings. And there are people who own this many shares of Bunnings. Whereas in a worker-owned cooperative, everyone gets 1 share, and it's the same weight. So when I am a member of the cooperative, my word and my opinion and the position I take will hold the same weight as Kate's, even when Kate was a founding member. And in our current paradigm, Kate would have seniority, but in a cooperative structure, particularly a worker-owned cooperative, that gives everybody the double-edged coin, I suppose, or two-sided coin, of being able to really make their presence felt. But also you have a responsibility to give as much of yourself as you can to that business, because you own it. You own part of it. And if it doesn't succeed, your name is right on that lack of success. So it's an all-in kind of thing, but it's much more conducive to success and mutual success than our current model.
All cooperatives are bound by 7 principles. So all cooperatives use these 7 principles excuse me, to guide them. I didn't really want to spend time going over each of the 7. I'm hoping that just it's voluntary and open membership, democratic member control, the economic participation of the members, our autonomy and independence, education, training and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. So I suppose when we were looking at doing the business structure as a cooperative, we already knew that these were already part of our value system. This was already what we wanted to try and achieve. And it goes back to what Kat was saying as well about that, the members having democratic control. And eventually, when as members, so we're quite young as a cooperative. So as our members increase, there is a certain amount of money that they give to be part of the cooperative, but part of that we want to have as sweat equity. So what I mean by that is basically voluntary hours. So we are supported by the members in a lot of different ways. It's not just about the money, it's about that responsibility, that they're on board and they're willing to help in lots of different ways. Did you want to say?
The word ownership's thrown around a lot these days, and so it's lost a lot of its meaning. I think that somebody earlier in the role-play game said something that struck me, and that's just that you have a stake in it, and you do. You've granted the stake, and you're hinging something very important, your identity, your economic independence. So whether I have money to buy food for tonight, you're hinging that on your performance. It's not just you rock up to work, get paid. You need more words and bubbles.
Okay. These are the 5 core values that underpin Galactic Cooperative. We're quite passionate about being authentic and to communicate in truth. We are very passionate about sustainability, and we're doing all that we can to innovate to meet the needs of our members, and our employees, of the people that work with us. And part of that is that we make a livelihood for everybody who is part of our cooperative. That we connect, we inspire. We really struggled over inspiration. We really struggled over that because what we wanted in a way was to have hope, but we felt that hope was like defeatist. So we came up with inspiration was really what we were trying to inspire people with. And lead the way, so do the impossible better. And growth, we hope to be developing in our cooperative, in ourselves. We have structures in place to help us grow for personal development, but also professional development.
I think it's important to note with the growth that we did not intend that to be the ye olde capitalist growth.
No.
None of us want that. We want to get bigger only insofar as that serves people involved in the cooperative, as that serves our wider community, so our clients, because our clients, we think of them as our community, and the people who want to join the cooperative, if they come up to us and say, I really want to be a part of this, I want to work for Swelter Bikes, or I want to work with Andre fixing things, then we need to grow to accommodate that. But if we just grow without that in mind, then it's pointless.
So I believe this is going to be the last slide. Yes, it's now 2035.
Just read it. What innovations, practices and trends have shaped the new economy in WA? I think it's both our vision that there are more cooperatives and that people have divested from the outdated and incredibly enslaving model of rock up to work at 9, go home at 5, just do as I'm told. Because we all need to stop acting like automata and start taking responsibility for our own success.
So again, I think when it goes back to that GDP, I think cooperatives is a vehicle for us to get away from using that GDP as a goal. We can do something better, and we can have that as our goal. And this is just one way of achieving that. So I suppose something that I came across very recently from the Story of Stuff. I don't know if you've seen that on YouTube, but one of the things that I can't remember her name now.
The nice lady.
The lovely lady on Story for Stuff. She talks about being a game changer and having a goal, and the G standing for giving people power. The O is opens people's eyes. A accounts for all the costs, and L lessens the wealth gap. And I certainly am a firm believer that worker-owned cooperatives and cooperatives in general is definitely one of those game changers.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.